It wasn't no harsh talking to that you might get from your parents. It wasn't no angry text from a friend that, I'm done with you. It wasn't a text message. He was beaten. He was made fun of by the very people that said that they loved him. How many of you have an extremely close friend that you tell just about everything? Just raise your hand. Imagine having your best friend, the very friend that you would trust with everything, turn on you completely, walk away, not even deny knowing you. The reasons why we do this, no one can really explain. It's just a matter of taking action on what needs to happen next. We doubt. Look at the disciples. They did the same exact thing at the crucifixion. Maybe it's because our reputation is at stake. People won't like us. 9 times out of 10, the false prophet is going to be the one that people listen to because they say exactly what the people want to hear. They don't say what needs to be said for the people to actually act on it. They just say, well, you guys are doing this good, so that's okay. You can stop there. No. I'm going to read from Hebrews chapter 10, verse 24 and 25. This isn't going to happen alone. The church, as a body of Christ, and it starts with us. Yeah, you can put the blame on the adults. Adults have some part in it. They can raise their expectations. But if you guys don't match up to those, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to drop the well. They're not going to do anything. So listen to what they say in Hebrews about the church helping each other on. Chapter 10, verse 24 and 25. And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds. Let us not give up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing. But let us encourage one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. This isn't, oh, hey, I'll think of them once a month, once a year. Every day. If you can do that every day. For those of you who went to CIY, we talked about what would happen in 1 week, in 1 month, in 1 year, if our entire body of youth group, you, me, would just love the people around us. Not make excuses for why we're not doing what we need to. Third reason, we're lazy. Why do we say no? I just don't feel like it. Now, for some of you, these hard things that Alex and Brett are talking about, it's going to be different for each one of you. Some of them, they're going to be very small. They're going to be small to start out with. They're going to start out just by simply respecting your parents and not talking back to them one time. It'll throw your parents off guard. I'm telling you the truth. They will not know what hit them when you just go, okay, yeah, I'll do that. You just go and do it. They won't know what to say. Same goes for respecting authority. For some of you, it's going to be a bigger step. For some of you, it's going to be talking to a person saying, hey, what is this whole Jesus thing about? You're scared of exactly what we're talking about before. The reputation being at stake for what you've built your reputation to be. Not what God wanted you to, but what you wanted to be. And I'm not standing up here saying, I'm getting any of this right, because 9 times out of 10, I'm probably getting it wrong. But the thing is, it's going to take you encouraging me and me encouraging you. It's not one man's team. Dudes, man up. I look at the way guys right now are treating girls, the way they look at them, the way they even talk about them. And if there were girls around, would you still talk about it like that? I don't think so. Girls, you haven't escaped it. The gossip, the way you put girls down, whether they're in front of your face or in the other room. It's how you treat people to their face and around your mutual friends. So together, we need to raise our expectations for each other and not wait for the adults. Going back to the reputation thing, It's not going to be easy. The disciples, some tax collectors, they were high up people in society, some of them, and they gave up. They're like, hey, I like what this guy's saying. I'm going with him. In Hebrews 10, again, starting with verse 32. Remember those earlier days after you had received the light, when you stood around in a great contest in the face of suffering. Sometimes you were publicly exposed to insult and persecution, and other times you stood by side with those in prison and joyfully accepted the confiscation of your property, because you knew that you yourselves had better lasting possessions. The reward's coming. There's 4 steps that need to happen. If we get the worship team back up. There's 4 things that need to happen. Scott talked about on Sunday how you're going to have to sit back and look at your life. And Sykes talked about it too. You've got to sit there and honestly examine yourself, not kid yourself on what's happening. So that's the first step. Then talk to someone. Like we said, you can't go it alone. It's not going to happen. Third, you got to be humble and be bold and be loving. These hard things that God may call you to do, these hard things that you're going to challenge yourself and others to do, they're not going to just come. And when they do come, you can't play yourself up to be the big man that's got everything figured out. Because the second you do that, Satan's going to come right in there and attack you with no end. God's going to have to of destroying his own creation. When I was little, I don't know how many of you guys, maybe girls too, played with Legos or Kinects. I loved them. I played with them all the time. When you got that huge project done, and it was finished, and you looked at it, and you're like, this is cool. And you played with it for a while, and then came the new one. And you're like, well, I gotta take this one down. For me, that was a sad day. I was like, I had to rip apart everything I just created. But God's going to have to do the same thing when he destroys the creation he made with his own 2 hands. It's not going to be easy. These people on either side of you are the ones that you're going to have to get through it with together. Behind you, in front of you, up here on stage, all these adults are willing to help. But you've got to talk to someone. Intentions do not match actions. Actions equal actions. Let's pray.